And growing up, you really don't know what poverty really looks like, because you just grow up and you just deal with it the best you know how. And with mother, she had 12 children at home. Well, after 6, I felt that they waited until number 12 to find the perfect child. But, it was important to me that, growing up and watching my family. But, watching them, at the age of 14, they were quitting school and going to work. So 14 and 15, they had their own car that they had created and built the motor. And because I have 8 brothers, and they were all very good with hunting and very good with putting cars together. So I learned just by watching. But my dad passed away. I was born in May. And my dad, they found out my dad had cancer in September of that same year, and then he died the following December. So I never had the dad to watch or to grow with. And 18 months old, and to this day, I have no memory of him other than one picture that I have. And going through school, and going through elementary school, and not having a dime or even a nickel to attend a ball game. So what I would do is I would ask to go to the restroom, and then I would climb into the windowsill and watch the basketball game from the windowsill, because I didn't have the money to go watch the ball game. And then I remember in the 3rd grade that I had a teacher. My first 2, I can tell you every teacher I've ever had. And Miss Dodd was 1st grade and Miss Martin was 2nd grade. Loved them. 3rd grade, Miss Jackson. I remember being on the playground. And of course, back then we did have recess and went out to play. And that's how we built our social skills. And she called me over. They would grade papers under the shade tree while we were out in the sun. And she called me over and she said, "Bruce, have you ever made a D on your report card?" I said, "Of course not." That was one thing I always made sure that I made good grades, because I wanted to bring them home to my mom. And she goes, "Well, guess what? You have 2 now." And that just crushed me, because I had a teacher telling me that not only do you have 1, but you have 2 Ds. And I didn't understand what did I do wrong. And so that hurt me, but that set the stage for the rest of what I knew I had to do, is to further my education. And, growing up in rural Walker County, when the sun came up, we were outside. And we did not come back in until it was dark. And so we learned how to climb muscadine trees, apple trees, eat, whatever we could find, from plums to apples to peaches, anything that was out there, and also had to work the garden. But growing up, I knew, by being with my family, that I knew that education would be the only way that I could do that. And graduating from high school, I was only 1 of 4 of the 12 to graduate high school. And I decided to go to the University of Alabama. And everybody was looking at me like, "Why the University of Alabama?" And I decided to leave home at the age of 17 and live on my own. And I remember taking a test at the University of Alabama. And I don't know if some of you that as old as I am, we had to take an entrance test at the university. And it would give you the percentile of how they think you will do your freshman year. Well, University of Alabama gave me a 17% chance of passing my freshman year. I still have the paper. So it was interesting when I walked across the stage with my doctorate from the University of Alabama, I still had that piece of paper in my hand. That was very important to me. And to this day, education is one of the most important things. And we are all out there, and I see all the faces that I work side by side with. And you guys make such a difference with all of the kids. And remember, there's no face. You work with everyone. We can't distinguish between black, white, male, female. We have to teach all children. And that's one thing that I try to do. And I go home every day hoping that I've made a difference in the life of a child somewhere, somehow. And if a child comes back to you as an adult and says, "Thank you, you're the reason that I am where I am today, then you know you've made a difference. And that's important that we do here, that the students are successful. And just last week when I heard that Jamario Bobo was shot and killed in Alberta, I cannot tell you the amount of times that he was sitting in front of me in my office at Eastwood Middle School, and I was trying to talk with him about, please, what can I do to help? What can I do to help break that cycle that he was in, the gangs and everything? And now he's 21 years old and he's in 6 feet under. And that's very difficult to hear, because I wonder if there was just one more word or one more conversation I could have had with him to have changed his pathway that he went down. So that's just one thing I want to say with poverty, is that you never know the face of poverty. It can be hidden very well. And a lot of people, there are moments that we did not have food in the house, or my mother had 1 egg to feed 6 children, and she mixed up that 1 egg and gravy, and we all got a little bit of the egg. And that's how we lived. And so just go out there and do what you can to help every child. And I do appreciate all that you guys did today. It was wonderful watching you. And it is for a time now for reflection, because you are the faces that these kids see every single day.